Now we're going to solve radical equations. I've got steps that I need to follow for solving radical equations that contain square roots. First thing, if necessary, arrange terms so that one radical is isolated on one side of the equation. That means to get the radical by itself. Second thing, square both sides of the equation to eliminate the square root. Remember, you got to do the same thing to both sides to stay legally correct. Solve the resulting equation, and number 4, you should always check solutions in the original, because sometimes you can come up with what's called extraneous solutions. So let's see what we can do. In this one, my square root is already isolated. It's by itself on one side, so I do not have to do step 1. Step 2, I need to square both sides. When I square a square root, that frees out that radicand, stuff under the radical. 8 squared, that would give me a 64. Now I have to solve. It says to solve the resulting equation. So this is a linear, so subtract 4 from both sides. Divide by 3. So it looks like x needs to be 20. Well, let me check. So 20 storing for x. Second square root, 3x plus 4, which is my original part on this side. And if it comes out to be 8, then I'm happy. So that one does check. Oh boy, I've got a term here that contains a radical and another term on the same side that contains a radical. So I need to get them away from one another. So I'm going to move that one to the other side by adding. Well, now that I've got them separated, I'm going to square this side, and I must do the same to this side. So it frees out the radicand. On this side, I have got 2 squared of x times 2 squared of x. So that's going to give me a 4x. I've got a linear equation again, so now I'm going to move the 3x over by subtracting, and it looks like x needs to be 9. Well, let's see. I've got to move this in here. Oop, clear that off. 9 storing for x, and I'm going to go back to the original. So shift square root 3x plus 9 minus 2 square root of x, and let's see if it comes out to be 0. So that one checks. Alright, 2 more. First thing I need to do is isolate that radical, so I'm going to subtract 5. I need to square both sides. Now if I put 25 back in, square root of 25 is 5. 5 plus 5 does not equal 0. So I'm going to have to mark that out and go no real solution. I told you it's possible to come up with an extraneous solution, so we just did. One more. Radical is not isolated. I need to move the 2 over. Okay. Now I need to square both sides. This side is the easy side. This side, please be careful, because that is x minus 2 times x minus 2. You have to FOIL this. So that would give me an x squared. Outside's a minus 2x. Inside's a minus 2x. So it gives me a minus 4x. Last times last, give me a 4. Now I've got myself a quadratic. So I'm going to move these terms over to one side. Got to subtract 2x. Got to add 1. Now I've got to go factor. I know x will be in the first place, and this is one of those nice ones. So the 5 is split up as 1 times 5. That's the only way I can split it. If I add those together, it'll give me a plus 6x, so I need to subtract those. And now I set them individually equal to 0. So let's go check those and see if they work. See if I can get my calculator in here. So 1, storing for x, go back up to my original. So square root 2x minus 1 plus 2. My x over here, since I'm working with 1, if this comes out to be 1, then I'm okay. Well, it doesn't. Let's see if the 5 will work. That one does. So I do have just one answer on this one. Okay? Now, you don't have to say no real solution. The only time you say this is if you only had one possible and you had to mark it out. Here, since I had 2 possibles, one didn't work but the other one did, I do have a solution. Okay? That's it for this video. Thank you.